There's a quiet sense of purpose that comes with a morning spent in stillness, perhaps watching the light shift across a familiar room as you prepare for the day ahead. You might find yourself reaching for the usual staples in your pantry, following the habits you've cultivated over a lifetime to keep your heart strong and your body moving. Yet, there is often a lingering hesitation when it comes to the richer, more substantial foods on the shelf, a whisper of a decades-old warning that told us to keep our plates as lean as possible. It is a subtle form of dietary caution that can leave you feeling as though you are doing everything right, even while you notice your focus isn't quite as sharp or your evenings feel a bit more mentally taxing than they used to. By the end of this video, you'll understand why healthy fats are the essential reinforcement your brain and nervous system require after 60, and how bringing them back can restore your cognitive clarity and physical steadiness. We are going to move beyond the old fears of the low-fat era to explore the modern science of neurological support, focusing on the deep why behind your body's changing needs. Our goal is to provide you with a grounded, hopeful perspective that turns every meal into an opportunity to strengthen the very foundation of how you think, feel, and move. Have you ever noticed that on some days your thoughts feel as clear as a bell, while on others, a soft fog seems to settle over your ability to recall a name or a detail? That experience is a natural crossroad where many of us find ourselves, and it often leads to a quiet worry about the future of our independence. But there is a profound reassurance in knowing that your brain is not a static organ. It is a dynamic, living structure that is constantly asking for the right building blocks to maintain its integrity. To understand the role of fat in this journey, we have to look at the physical makeup of the brain itself, which is nearly 60% fat by weight. It is the most lipid-rich organ in your entire body, and this fat isn't there for storage, it is there for structure, communication, and protection. The billions of neurons that allow you to remember a childhood song or coordinate your balance rely on a specialized coating called the myelin sheath. Think of this sheath as the high-quality insulation on a copper wire, ensuring that the electrical signals in your nervous system travel at lightning speed without leaking or fading. As we navigate our 60s and beyond, the body's ability to maintain this insulation becomes a bit more selective, requiring a steady supply of high-quality fats to repair the daily wear and tear. If we strictly avoid fats in the name of heart health, we may inadvertently be starving our nervous system of the very material it needs to keep those electrical signals crisp and clear. This can show up as a slower reaction time or a feeling that your mental processing just isn't as snappy as it once was. By prioritizing healthy fats, we are effectively re-insulating our neural pathways, supporting the steady, reliable communication that defines our cognitive strength. In addition to structure, healthy fats, specifically the omega-3 fatty acids found in cold water fish and certain seeds, act as a natural stabilizer for inflammation within the brain. Chronic, low-level inflammation is a quiet thief of mental energy, often contributing to that sense of brain fog that can make a long day feel overwhelming. Omega-3s work like a cooling presence, helping to keep the environment around your neurons calm and receptive to new information. This isn't just about preventing decline, it is about supporting the plasticity of your brain, which is its remarkable ability to continue learning and adapting no matter your age. Which brings us to a pattern many of us recognize in our own kitchens, perhaps without realizing the impact it has on our mental stamina. Imagine a quiet afternoon where you've prepared a lunch that is virtuously lean, perhaps a plain turkey breast or a salad with nothing but a squeeze of lemon. By 3 p.m., you find yourself feeling a strange, hollow irritability, a sense of mental hunger that makes it difficult to focus on a book or a craft. This happens because your brain has burned through its immediate glucose and is searching for the grounding, long-term energy that only fats can provide. When we include a source of fat with our meals, such as a drizzle of olive oil or a few slices of avocado, we create a metabolic anchor. This anchor slows down the digestion of the entire meal, ensuring that your brain receives a slow, predictable trickle of fuel rather than a sudden spike and crash. It is this steadiness that allows you to move through your afternoon with a sense of emotional and cognitive equilibrium. In addition to focus, this metabolic stability is a key part of maintaining your physical balance, as your brain's equilibrium center requires consistent fuel to keep you upright and confident. Have you ever felt a sense of relief when you realized that a meal was not just satisfying your hunger, but actually calming your mind? That sensation of groundedness is a direct signal from your nervous system that it has been properly reinforced. It is a state of being where you feel more in control of your reactions and more present in your conversations. When we nourish our nerves, we aren't just caring for a physical system, we are protecting the quality of our social and emotional lives. Another vital role of fat in the senior years is its relationship with our fat-soluble vitamins, particularly vitamin D and vitamin E. These nutrients are essential for nerve health and immune function, but they are locked away unless they have a fat key to open the door into your bloodstream. If you take a vitamin supplement on an empty stomach or eat a nutrient-rich vegetable without any oil, your body may only absorb a fraction of that support. By bringing richness back to the plate, you are ensuring that your bones, your eyes, and your nerves are actually receiving the benefits of the healthy choices you're making. Which leads us to the impact of senior nutrition when it comes to the fear of fats. We need fats for brain structure and vitamin absorption, and we've been taught to see them as a threat to our cholesterol, but the most recent research shows that specific fats actually improve our cardiovascular profile, so we must move from a mindset of avoidance to one of selection. The market gap in health advice today often leaves seniors stuck in the 1990s version of nutrition, where fat-free was the gold standard. By shifting to a functional fat approach, you are catching up to the current science of longevity. In addition to cellular health, healthy fats support the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which regulate our mood and motivation. As we age, maintaining a hopeful and engaged outlook is a vital part of our overall wellness. When the brain has the lipids it needs to build these chemical messengers, we find it easier to stay resilient in the face of life's inevitable stresses. It is a form of emotional armor that starts with the healthy oils and whole food fats we choose to include in our daily routine. Have you ever noticed how your motivation to stay active and try new things seems to flourish when you feel physically and mentally well-oiled? That fluidity is a hallmark of a nervous system that is operating with all the resources it requires. It makes the morning walk feel more inviting and the new hobby feel more achievable. Small, intentional shifts in your nutrition can unlock a sense of possibility that might have felt like it was starting to recede. Which brings us to a moment many of us have experienced during a family dinner or a holiday gathering. You're at a table filled with rich, delicious foods, and you find yourself sticking only to the dry proteins and the plain vegetables because you don't want to break your diet. But an hour later, while everyone else is engaged in a lively, focused conversation, you feel a sudden, heavy fatigue that makes you want to retreat into yourself. That fatigue isn't a lack of character. It's a sign that your brain didn't get the slow-burn fuel it needed to stay social and sharp during the excitement. Recognizing these moments allows us to move toward a more sophisticated version of senior wisdom. Wisdom is knowing that a handful of walnuts or a piece of high-quality dark chocolate is a tactical investment in your afternoon focus. It is the understanding that your brain's needs are unique and that you have the agency to meet those needs with care and intention. When we move past the fear, we reclaim the ability to enjoy our food as a source of both pleasure and profound neurological support. Have you noticed how your confidence in your own memory and focus grows when you stop seeing your brain as a fragile organ and start seeing it as a supported one? That shift in perspective is incredibly empowering, as it puts you back in the driver's seat of your own cognitive health. You are no longer a passive observer of age-related changes. You are an active participant in your own resilience. And as that trust in your mind returns, you find that your world begins to feel larger and more full of potential. In addition to the brain, healthy fats support the health of your peripheral nerves, those that travel to your hands and feet. Many seniors experience subtle changes in sensation or tingling that can affect their confidence in their movement. While there are many causes for these shifts, ensuring your nervous system has the lipids it needs to maintain its protective coating is a fundamental first step in support. By prioritizing these nutrients, you are caring for the wiring of your entire body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Which leads us to a practical way to rethink your kitchen today, moving away from the zero-fat labels toward the whole food riches. It isn't about adding heavy processed fats, but about choosing those that come from nature, the extra virgin olive oil, the fatty fish, the nuts, and the seeds. Think of these as precision fuels that have been designed by nature to work in harmony with your human biology. When you see them this way, the old fear of the calorie count is replaced by a new appreciation for the nutrient density. You might try adding a sprinkle of ground flax seeds to your morning, or choosing a full-fat yogurt that leaves you feeling satisfied for hours. Or perhaps you experiment with a Mediterranean style of cooking, finding that the richness of the oils actually makes you enjoy your vegetables more than ever before. These are not cheats. They are the sophisticated habits of someone who understands that quality matters more than quantity. There is no perfect amount, but the goal is to feel mentally clear, emotionally steady, and physically ready for whatever the day brings. Have you ever felt a deep sense of satisfaction when you realized that the most delicious foods were also the ones your brain was craving? That alignment of taste and health is a sign that you are moving in harmony with your body's changing needs. It is an act of self-respect that acknowledges your body has carried you this far and deserves the very best reinforcement for the journey ahead. And that reinforcement is what allows you to continue leveling up with every passing year. As you move through your week, try to pay attention to the clarity of your afternoon. Notice if you feel more present and less foggy on the days when you've included a source of healthy fat with your breakfast or lunch. Pay attention to your mood and your physical steadiness, and see if a bit more richness in your diet helps you feel more grounded in your movement. These small personal observations are the most valuable senior health tips you will ever find, because they are written in the language of your own life. You have the agency and the insight to refine your nutrition as you go, responding to your body with grace and compassion. By understanding how healthy fats support your nerves, you've cleared a path toward a more vibrant and resilient future. You are giving your brain the exact insulation and fuel it needs to keep your thoughts bright and your focus sharp. And you are doing it all with a sense of hope and a commitment to your own lasting vitality. Nourishment after 60 is a journey of sophisticated choices, a chance to look at the world of food with a mature and informed perspective. When we move away from the fear-based habits of the past and embrace the science of neurological support, our world becomes more vibrant. The journey isn't about being perfect, it's about being well supported. And that support starts with the very next choice you make for the health of your mind. Every day is another chance to care for the body that's carried you this far. Keep learning, keep moving, keep believing in your own strength, because aging isn't slowing down, it's leveling up. If today's message resonated, take a moment to subscribe, leave a thought in the comments, or share this video with someone who could use a little encouragement. Because together, we're proving that aging well isn't the exception, it's the standard.